What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. A lot of y'all are not gonna like what I have to say. A lot of y'all may be upset because I'm talking about an individual that a lot of you all may revere, who you all may admire, who you all may champion. And I'm sorry that I have to make this video, but I gotta speak my piece. Whenever something doesn't sit right with me, I have to talk about it. I have to express it on this channel because that is what this channel is for me to express my truth, right? And you know what? I noticed something from this one individual. The way this one individual covered a tragedy involving a young black woman, and the way he covered a tragedy involving a young black man over a year later, it's quite alarming the way the discrepancies in the coverage, the way the coverage has changed or shifted, right? It's quite ironic. And I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Kwame Brown is an opportunist. Nothing short of it. I know it's going to hurt a lot of y'all to hear that, but he is, right? Kwame switches up his rhetoric and his stances according to who his audience is. Before the world discovered his YouTube channel, before the fiasco with Matt Barnes and Stephen Jackson, Kwame Brown was an ultra-black conservative along the lines of Jason Whitlock, right? He was often spewing the same type of rhetoric that we hear anti-black racists spew. He was spewing the same type of rhetoric that I hear white supremacists spew on prominent broadcast media, national media. He was saying the same type of lingo, the same type of rhetoric. He was spewing those same type of argument, the same type of talking points that they would talk. He was talking the same thing before he was discovered by the world, right? But now that he has a large black audience, now that he sees that black folks are championing him, and now that he see that black folks are riding with him, he's switching up his whole dynamic, right? Now he's supposed to be the people champion. Now he's supposed to be the leader of black folks. Now he's supposed to be the voice of reason in the black community, huh? How can I ever make Kwame Brown the black people's champion, a champion of black folks, when I watched him victim blame Breonna Taylor for her murder? I watched him victim blame Breonna Taylor for her murder. The same way that white supremacists was doing, that anti-black racists was doing. Kwame was out here doing the same thing, talking about the situation would have never happened if she wasn't dating no criminal. You know, it was all because she was formerly dating this thug this whole situation happened. It was unfortunate, but baby girl, she could have took herself out of that situation if she wasn't dating that thug that she used to date, so on and so forth, right? He was saying all of that, victim blaming Breonna Taylor, sounding just like one of the conservative good old boys, right? But then a couple of weeks ago, when young Dolph was gunned down, when he was murdered, he had so much grace. He extended so much grace to young Dolph, who was a self-proclaimed gangster, right? Young Dolph is a self-proclaimed gangster, and he was extending so much grace to Dolph. And I said, this shit is really, really boggling my mind. What has changed now since then, right? Because the Kwame Brown, the ultra-conservative Kwame Brown, who was along the lines of Jason Whitlock, he would be all against young Dolph, right? He would say, you know what? The same person that criticized Breonna Taylor would be like, you know what? That's Dolph's fault for, he shouldn't have never been embracing criminal activity. He shouldn't have never been antagonizing the people who shot at him 100 times. He should have never been antagonizing all these individuals in his music, so on and so forth. He would have said the same type of thing. That Kwame Brown, right? The ultra-conservative one. He wouldn't have been trying to say, oh, we can't blame young Dolph, because that's what he was saying. We can't blame young Dolph for this. Black folks got to stop. We can't blame him for this. He was just a man trying to passing out turkeys to the hood, a big resource to the hood, and brought so much livelihood and resources to Memphis, Tennessee, and his community, and tried to uplift he was saying that Dolph tried to uplift his community, so on and so forth, right? Right? Immediately dismissing any street activity that young Dolph may have been involved in past life, and so on and so forth, absolving him of that, giving him so much grace now. But I know the Kwame Brown, the ultra-conservative Kwame Brown, would have just got down all over young Dolph, saying he should have been in the streets. That's what happened when you in the streets, so on and so forth. The only reason he extended grace to young Dolph is because he sees that black people are watching his channel. So now he's watching his tongue. He's watching what he says because he doesn't want to alienate the black fan base that he's built on YouTube, right? And he only switched to that. He only switched to that rhetoric to extend young Dolph to it. He only extended that grace to young Dolph because, you know what? Now he see black folks watching this channel. Now I'm the people's champion. Now I gotta switch up my talk. No, brother. I remember what you said about Breonna Taylor, and I know people gonna say, you know what? Kwame could have changed since then. I doubt it. Because he went on Jason Whitlock's network, his YouTube channel, talking with him, a man that openly drags black people's name through the mud on the regular, right? A person that openly drugged black people's name through the mud and tried to downplay racism to try to big up the establishment, in favor of the establishment. That's what Jason Whitlock was doing. He was always the black dude that they will march out to the front to downplay racism in order, in favor of the establishment that he worked for. Right? Now that is a thing that Kwame Brown says he is completely against now. But he went on Jason Whitlock's YouTube channel to get an interview in with him. So that lets me know that he is not all what he says he is now. He still has a lot of that up in him, and he aligns with a lot of the things that Jason Whitlock says, because if he didn't, he wouldn't be on his YouTube channel conversing with that brother for that long. It wouldn't have even happened. He still has those same sentiments that he had about Breonna Taylor. He still has that in him. You know what I mean? He still, and I promise y'all, if he would have never gotten famous as black folks, if he wasn't so beloved by black people, he would have tried to get on there about young Dolph, and he would have said, oh, it's Dolph's fault that Dolph was in the streets, and Dolph was out here being an active participant in street activity. You know what I'm saying? Being he would have said, you know, Dolph is a self-proclaimed gangster, and that's what happens, right? That's what he would have said. But now his rhetoric is switched, and I'm telling y'all, it pissed me off so bad because listen, when people get hot and they blow up, I pay attention to what they previously have done before they got hot and popping. Because that's often when you find the true individual. You find the person's true self, the true identity of a person before they get famous, before they get popping. You see who a person really is. When I saw that video about him throwing, basically victim blaming Breonna Taylor, not basically, he was. It wouldn't have happened if she wasn't formally dating that thug or that criminal, so on and so forth. Stop talking to criminals and all this and all of that. But now you saying that we shouldn't blame young Dolph when he was a self-proclaimed gangster that once engaged in criminal activity. Now it's just, oh, don't blame him, leave him alone. You're extending so much grace now. What the hell has changed now? You know what I mean? And let me just say this too, right? Because I don't want people to think that I'm trying to attack young Dolph or I'm trying to clown him at all, right? But let's compare the situations. Breonna Taylor was formerly dating an individual who was engaged in criminal activity. She left that individual. She left and moved on from their relationship, started dating someone else. Young Dolph, on the other hand, right? You know what? He was a rapper. He wasn't engaged in criminal activity. He had a family and so on and so forth. But let's be real about it. He was still out here antagonizing people who shot at him 100 times, right? He was still doing that, right? He was on record several times talking about how he had sex with Yo Gotti baby mama, bragging about it time and time again, right? Now, again, I don't know. I don't even think Yo Gotti had anything to do with young Dolph getting killed or whatever, right? But I'm just trying to tell you, I'm just trying to give you an example of the way that Dolph was conducting himself in certain conflicts that he was having, right? And I'm telling y'all right now, the energy you put out into this world often comes back onto you, right? So in the real world, in the streets, we know when you try to embarrass a man by saying, I effed your baby mama, so on and so forth, and all of that, that's bad energy. And oftentimes that can result to things reaching to a level that it can never come back from, right? You antagonizing shooters, so on and so forth, beating your chest, antagonizing shooters, that's dangerous. That's a dangerous path to walk on. Now, the brother should have never been killed. I hated that the brother lost his life, got taken from his family. It crushed me because I don't want to see black people harm other black people at all. I love my people. I don't want to see us dying. I don't want to see us dying at the hands of each other and so on and so forth. I think this shit is bullshit. I think it should be stopped, right? But I find it interesting how he can victim blame Breonna Taylor for just simply formerly dating a dude that was a criminal or whatever. But now he's trying to absolve Dolph of all things that he may have had going on around his whole street life antics, around his whole antics. He's trying to absolve him and act like that shit, like young Dolph's past transgressions or recent transgressions really just didn't exist, as if like, oh my God, like, you know what? That shouldn't have happened. You can't blame him for nothing, but you can blame Breonna Taylor for dating a street dude, but you can't blame Dolph for being out here antagonizing these shooters on the regular, making an album called Bulletproof, I believe, mixtape or album called Bulletproof, then kept bragging about having sex with another man, baby mama, all open, beating your chest about it. You can't blame Dolph for that, but you can blame Breonna Taylor for dating a criminal. Y'all see where I'm going with this here? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, and I don't even think it's about a man or woman type of thing with him. It was that he was on an ultra black conservative train along the lines of Jason Whitlock, like I said before black folks got up on him, before he got popping, he was going down that road, right? And then when he saw black folks is all giving him a whole bunch of attention, they ride with him, he said, oh shit, I gotta switch up my whole rhetoric. I gotta start talking this way, so because now I am the champion of black folks, now I gotta start talking this way. I gotta change up from that ultra black conservative stuff. Now I'm gonna go over here. He going wherever the wind blows based upon who his audience is. And I promise y'all, the day that black folks probably figure out what I figured out, he gonna go right back to that ultra conservative black talk, black man talk. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be spewing the same type of talking points that the anti-black racists talk on all these prominent news stations, on all these prominent broadcast media outlets. He gonna be talking that same shit that Whitlock talks on a regular basis. You know what I mean? And I already found out that he's a walking contradiction, because on one end, he's going to talk about, oh, you know what? You don't bring down another black man. You don't talk about another black man. And I don't talk about you. But then I heard him say stuff about LeBron James and all this and all of that, calling him a puppet and all this and so on and so forth or whatever. And that man ain't said shit about you at all. He ain't said nothing bad about your name at all. And you down and you talking down on other black dudes that ain't said nothing about you. So that's a walking contradiction in itself. One minute you're saying all these black media dudes, they trying to tear down black athletes and trying to smear their name. And then you're trying to smear another black man name like LeBron that ain't said nothing about you. Which one is it, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? Which one is it, man? Look. And it's just crazy to me, man, because when I saw him, that video of him talking bad about Breonna Taylor and how basically it wouldn't have happened if she wasn't dating no thug, that shit made me mad to the core, because I'm like, wow, you sit up here saying the same things that these anti-black racists be saying on TV, right? You saying that, but then now fast forward, when it comes to Dolph, now we can't blame him at all for nothing that happened or whatever, when he had a whole bunch of stuff he had going on in the streets, and I don't care what nobody say. That wasn't a random hit. You know what I'm saying? That was unfortunate. It was terrible that brother died. You know what I'm saying? That brother was a great resource and asset to his community and could have provided all type of wealth throughout the community for sure. But I'm saying, if you look at the dealings that he had, you know, the recent dealings and past dealings over the past 4 or 5 years, it wouldn't be no surprise at what all of the street, that basically, it wouldn't be a surprise or about him getting into some type of street type stuff. You know what I mean? But we can't blame him, and we seen the stuff that he was doing, antagonizing shooters and saying that, hey, you know what, I effed your baby mama and song after song after song, and we can't blame him, but we can blame Breonna Taylor for formerly dating a dude in the streets. Y'all see the hypocrisy in that? Come on, man. Dude is being a hypocrite for whatever way the dollar gonna go. Okay? Whatever way, and listen, I know everybody gotta get their money. I'm all for black folks getting their money, but the shit, when you getting your money, you know what I'm saying? And I see that you was like, I see that you switched up to be for the people for some bread when you was formerly shitting on a black woman, basically throwing her name through the mud, all on your YouTube channel, and you was doing that before. And I promise you, in the comment section, you got white, like probably white folks and other non-black people riding with him and agreeing. I'm not saying all white folks agree with the whole situation with Breonna Taylor, with him saying that it's her fault for dating a street dude or whatever. But you got white folks, you got bigoted white people, you got bigoted non-black folks in the comment section riding all with him, making him the champion then. He was their champion first. Now you trying to come over here and be the black folks champion when you see that black folks is the one supporting you and giving you your money and your super chat donations and so on and so forth. Come on, man. Like, I read between the lines and I see how you were before then. I watched some other videos. This American flag flying high in the background, and you know what? And again, when brothers be out here real proud Americans, I be dissecting that ideology, or excuse me, that imagery of you being a real proud American. We can cut that shit down and cut it all the way down to the bottom, and I see the conservative good old boy in you. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying we all proud to be from America. We love a country, but when you overdoing this shit way hard as a black man, I know something up with you. I know something up with you when you got that flag just all. And again, you can be a great person proud to be in America or whatever. But a lot of patriotism in America is basically, I seen patriotism being patriotism will mask, often in this country, anti-black rhetoric. They'll use patriotism to mask a lot of anti-black rhetoric. So even a lot of black conservatives will wave the flag high. And I'm not saying you if you're a black conservative, you're racist. But there's a lot of, black conservatives that spew talking points of white supremacists or racist individuals against like anti-black racists. They will spew the same talking points. It's a lot of black conservatives that do that. And I'm not surprised when I see them always talking about they such a proud American flag flying high in the background, all of that, I be knowing where a lot of that stuff comes from. Because once again, a lot of people in this country use patriotism to mask a lot of anti-black racism. So let's be real, man. But yeah, man, I've basically seen who Kwame was a long time ago. And you know what? I didn't want to make a video, like, cause I kind of be hard pressed a lot of times, man. I'd be like, man, you know what? Black folks have found somebody they feel like, oh, we just riding with them, so on and so forth. And, they really rock with them. I ain't trying to stunt on his name. But when I just saw the whole thing with Young Dolph, I had enough. Because I'm like, bro, come on, fam. If you're going to blame Breonna Taylor for her getting killed, how you not going to blame Dolph? Or how you not going to say, not blame him, how you not going to say that there was some accountability in some of the things that he was doing? You know what I mean? Because the energy that you put out into this world, as we know, often comes back to you, as I said before. So if you're going to just absolve him and we can't blame him for nothing, when we know he was out here antagonizing folks and he had other street dealings and he was out here talking about he F somebody baby mama all the time, pumping his chest about it. He was doing all of that, you know what I'm saying? And again, that doesn't mean he should have been killed. I'm not saying that. Lord, please, y'all. Listen to me. I'm not saying he should have been killed for that at all. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, how you going to absolve him and then try to blame Breonna Taylor for simply dating a dude that was engaging in street activity, formally engaging in street activity. You know what I'm saying? Because she wasn't with him anymore at the time. She wasn't with that dude. But yeah, like, come on, man. We all know what time that is, man. And again, I'm not saying that Young Dolph should have been killed. I'm not blaming him. But I'm saying that if you're going to blame one person, it's like, damn. One person had a lot more self-inflicted things going on compared to the other person. When I'm talking about Dolph compared to Breonna Taylor. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of other things that was going on in Dolph's life that could have been curtailed or could have been ended to maybe, or some things that was going on in his life may have contributed to him having that type of animosity towards him is what I'm saying. I'm not saying he should have been killed, he should have been gunned down, but a lot of the things, some things going on in his life may have contributed to that type of animosity, some things that he was doing, right? But in Kwame Brown's eyes, oh no, don't blame him for that. Don't blame him. No, don't blame him. But he want to blame Breonna Taylor because she used to date a street dude, a dude that used to be in the street. Come on, man. Which one is it, brother? Which one is it? Y'all let me know, man. Machiavelli Mills TV. I'm out. Peace. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this video in the comment section below. I'm out.